Hey family, how you doing? We coming back with you guys with a story time. I know the last vlog we did, we had our second oldest son Sean with us. That was your introduction of seeing him because he lives on his own, like we were saying, and you don't know too much about him. So we thought we would give you a little insight about our second oldest son, Sean. So Sean was born August 31st, 1998. He was supposed to be born September 23rd, but he came October 31st, 1998. Um, what can I say? I remember my husband was at work, and my I believe my water broke. Was it the night before or what?
I think it was. I think it was the night before. It was definitely the night before.
Okay, yeah,
Yes. Yes.
I was hungry, y'all, and I wanted to go to White Tower, but husband would take me to White Tower because he said he was tired, and so
Oh, you don't throw me in.
yeah, I'm gonna throw you. I'm telling you, we keep
well,
it 100.
family. I had got in and from I think did I get in from work or I got in from work and my wife said take me to White Tower, take me to White Tower. I said I was gonna take I was gonna take out the breakfast instead, family. You know, I said, babe, let's let it wait until breakfast and in the morning, because it was awfully late, But husband should have took her to White Tower. maybe maybe the maybe the water wouldn't have busted, But yeah,
Yeah, cause look here.
yeah,
Okay, cause husband was tired and everything. It was like about 2 o'clock in the morning, and I went on White Towers.
yeah,
You ladies, when you got them cravings and you pregnant, it don't matter what time it is. You want what you want. So it was like 2 o'clock in the morning, and I went on White Tower. I don't know if you guys know what a White Tower is, if you guys have one in your city, but White Towers is a 24-hour restaurant. They serve breakfast. They serve
yes.
butter burgers, double butter
Yes,
burgers.
one of those 24-hour, one of those 24-hour franchise. It may be called something different in your city, but in our city it's called White Tower. Last I heard, they were kind of like nationwide, but that would be for you to know. I mean, you can leave your comments like, oh yeah, we have one in our city as well. But yes, but we know that we do carry them in our city, multiple of them to be exact. But getting back to my wife and her water and her water break, and so it didn't do it actually. The next night, it's funny how this happened because I was did I go to work the next day? I went to work the next day, and
I was mad because he didn't take me, so I didn't talk to
so
him.
so I went to work, and she was trying to get in touch with me because the water broke. And it was back in, of course, guys. I don't know if some of you younger viewers out there know that back in the '90s, we used to get those hot temperatures back in like July and August. I mean, it's different these days, but yes. But we found she finally got in touch with me, I think, and so anyway, fast forward, and she did end up in the hospital, and yes, but they did some tests on her while she was there, because of course when they get her in, they got to check her blood temperature and all that, and all the things that go along with it.
Vitals.
Yeah, vitals.
Yeah, so like husband said, I got there, and they ran this one test and everything, and the nurse said, I'm gonna check and see if your water has actually broke, and everything. So it was this test, I forgot the name of it, where you had to had to go to the bathroom, and I had a white. And it's like a strip that they had. I think I had a pee on it, and if it turned sky blue, that mean that was my water had broken. So I did what she asked me to do, and I brought the thing out to the nurse, and she said, "Oh my God!" She gonna say, "Yes, your water has broken." But so like I said, it was in August. Now this was August 30th. You know what I mean? So the people, the nurses and everything on that floor, they was like, we haven't even got all the August babies out, and we got a September baby about to come, because like I said, he was supposed to be born until September 23rd. So I mean, I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. You know what I mean? My water broke. And so, I'm gonna tell you a secret why my water broke and everything. It's because I wanted White Towers. I'm back on the White Towers. I wanted White Towers, and he was tired and everything. And I tried to pull him up. I tried to pull him off the bed and my water broke.
She
That's the
she
truth,
she
family.
did
That's
she
the
did she
truth.
did. She was like, come on, because I got in.
Mm-hmm.
I got in, family. I was. You know what? And I'm. I did. She didn't. We didn't go for safety reasons because you should never drive anywhere while you're tired.
That's true.
That's first and foremost. So I wasn't going to get my pregnant wife out on the road, and I'm really tired, and my visual, my visual wasn't correct. So I was like, okay, well, at least I'll get some rest in a few hours, and I'll take her to breakfast. But yes, the traveling at 2 o'clock in the morning wasn't a good idea. So, but she did try to pull me off the
I
bed,
did.
which she shouldn't have been doing
Yep.
at the the many months at the month she was at. She should have never done that. But yeah,
So we, like I said, back to the hospital. So like it's August 30th. And so, they was like, okay, I was like 3.5 weeks away from having Sean. So the doctor decided he was going to induce me. He said, we're going to have this baby. So they induced me. And so, I was, the next day, they induced me. They put, IV, all that, and, medicine, Pitocin, all that to, jumpstart your contractions because I wasn't even contracting. My water was broke completely, but I was not even having contractions. So they started Pitocin and everything that night, and I didn't really start feeling contractions until it was like 3 o'clock in the morning on August 31st. So, fast forward to that and to what happened. It was like 5 o'clock in the evening. I had been feeling contractions all day and everything, and I was ready for my epidural. And so the first time that they gave me the epidural in my back, the needle was too short, but you guys know that hurts bad. And so he was prying in my back, and I was like, you know what I mean? And he was like sticking my back in like 3-4 times, and he was like, the needle too short, but yet he was still sticking it in my back. So he said, I need a longer needle. So he went and got a longer needle, and was back in my back, and it was crazy. But after the epidural, that's when things turned. You can fill in for that.
yes, yeah. So I finally got to the hospital, of course, and what they were like my wife said, they was checking the contractions, heart rate. They was checking the heart rate of the baby and my wife at the same time. Making sure they were compatible. The heartbeat, per minute. So I walked in and I'm checking my wife out. And then I go over to the, me. I'm just that type of person. I like to make sure everything is going the way it's correctly. I'm looking at my wife, talking to the nurse, talking to the doctor, and I want to know the situation. Then I go over to the machine where where they was monitoring her heart rate and the baby's heart rate. And so I'm standing there for a minute, still gazing over at my wife. All of a sudden, within a spare moment, family, the numbers just dropped. First, they were like, I'll give you a number, give or take like 160, 170. It was like, but it was rapid though. It was like staying the same, for her and the baby. So let me know that it was normal because both of their heartbeat for minutes, it was matching up. But in a split second, it just changed dramatically. The numbers were just decreased. They were decreased rapidly, going down like 160, 150, 159, 158, and I was startled by it. So I called the nurse over. I said, "Hey, you need a." I mean, when I say, then it got to the point where it sped up even more fast. It dropped down to like the low hundreds, like 102. So the nurse made it over there. She looked. She said, "Oh my God." She said, she said we need to call a Code Blue. So immediately they called a Code Blue. And my wife was rushed back to deliver our son. And all in all, family, I guess what I'm basically saying is that she almost died having him.
Mm-hmm.
She did. In so many words. He's a miracle baby.
Yes, he is.
Yes. So all our kids are miracle kids. I mean, because by all
come from God.
They all come from God. But they were. My wife almost died having him.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess in that situation like that, they was either gonna try to save my wife or the baby.
And I told them to say, if it came down to that, I told them to save the baby.
And again, I'm gonna charge it all to God because it's all God. By the grace of God, both of their lives were spared.
Amen to that.
Because we're still here to talk about it today. You know,
So basically, I had an emergency C-section. They got it's very vague. What I remember when they called the cold blue.
excuse me,
And
family. I drink a lot of water.
he do. We all do. I remember when they called it cold blue because the nurse had me get on my fours and they had an oxygen mask on my head. And I remember this woman that was in the hallway. And it was like, they was rushing me so fast that her face was a blur. And that's the only thing I remember. Next thing I remember, I woke up and everything. And my husband, my family were at the bottom of my bed. And I was like, what happened? And it was like, you almost died having Sean and everything. And it was like, but he's fine and you fine and everything. You had emergency C-section. And so, I didn't get to see him until about an hour later because I was out for a minute. For a couple hours I was out. But then, I wanted to see my son and everything, and me having a emergency C-section, you had a big old, my whole abdominal was cut and everything. So, I guess the nurses and the doctors didn't expect me. My husband had been going down to the NICU the whole time I was still unconscious. Yeah. And when I woke up, I told my husband, I said I was ready to see my son. So my husband goes get a wheelchair. So what did I tell you?
You said that you wanted to see our son. That's what you said.
Mm-hmm. And then you bought the wheelchair, and did I use the wheelchair?
No, she did not use the wheelchair, family. She walked. She walked right after that to the NICU to see our son.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, she did. I was amazed by it. I'm a man. And I was squinching myself.
He was squinching. He's like,
said,
you sure you want a wheelchair?
Baby, get the wheelchair, But she did it. She did it like a champ too.
I walked into the NICU,
yes.
and the NICU nurses, they were like, "Oh my God, do you just have emergency C-section?" I said, "Yes." I said, "Can I hear to see my son?" They said, "Oh my God," and she is walking without no wheelchair, and the nurses was in there was cringing. I ain't never seen the whole staff cringing. Like, oh my God, her whole abdominal was cut, and she is walking because my room was all the way down, a long way from the NICU, and I paced myself. I was holding on the rail on the way down there, family, but I made it down there to see my son in the NICU.
Yeah. Of course, I was coursing along with the wheelchair, just in case.
Yeah, he was.
She had took too many steps, and and I'm trying to sweet talk her into getting in the wheelchair. I'm like, like, you need a ride there, or
No.
But she didn't do it, family. She did walk every step of the way to the NICU.
And so when he was born, a couple of days later was my mother's 50th birthday. And so, I had, like I said, I wasn't supposed to have him until September 23rd. So I just knew that I was going to be part of her birthday party because I had paid for half of things for her. And me and my aunts and them had paid for all the food, had a hall and everything. So I did not think I was going to be in a hospital. But family, me being hard-headed, I was in the hospital, and my mama's birthday was like, 2 days after I had Sean. So, my son was born August 31st. My mother's birthday is September 2nd. So, she always said that was her birthday present. And so, the party, I was still in the hospital. I got released, the day of her party?
Yeah, that's exactly.
I got released the day of my mom's birthday party, and I wanted to go to the party. And so, I probably shouldn't have went to the party, but I went to the party to see my mom and my family for her 50th birthday. And I got sick, family, when I was at the party. And my mom stopped the party because I got sick. And I felt bad because this was all about her. But when she seen that I was sick, like my abdominal and stuff was hurting bad, And I think I forgot to take my medicine on time, didn't I?
That's exactly it. She was, and to my understanding, this you can't have any gaps or spaces in your medicine, and she did do that. I think because she was so excited about making it to the party.
I was.
And that she missed the medication, and that probably brought on tremendous amount of pain.
So, like I said, my mom stopped the party and everybody come running, my husband come running, all that. So, I leave the party. So we get home. And so my husband said, when I got released from, having my son, they send you home, with all this stuff, and they sent home a thermometer and all that. And so my husband said I was warm. And so he checked my temperature when we got home because I was in pain. I thought it was just that, but I just felt like, didn't feel good altogether. And he checked my temperature and it was 104.
Yeah.
So we rushed out to emergency room and got to emergency room, family. And by me just leaving that same day, of course they had all my information and they rushed me back in the back. And guess what, family? Found out I had an infection and they had to reopen me. Yep, they had to reopen me and clean out the infection in my womb.
Yeah. Yes, I remember that day. Anyway, family, they took her back, and they did reopen her, and they used this brushing solution.
Mm-hmm.
They had a brush, like a soft type of brush. It had to be really soft for them to use the solution and brush out the infection from the inside of the body. So anyway, I'm wanting to know what room she's in. So I finally find out, and I go in and I'm looking at her. I finally find the room. I see my wife. She's eyes is wide open and she's staring at me. And I kind of gazed down as to where the nurses and the nurse's assistant was, and they're working on her.
Mm-hmm.
Get me now, family, okay? But she's open already, and I'm not liking what I see here. You know what I'm saying? I've seen many things. Trust what I see, but this is my spouse. This is my wife. This is not at this time at this moment. It's not a good look for me. Like I said, I've seen many things, family. Trust me when I say that. But when I see my wife and I seen her open specifically, I had a quick little blackout, just a quick one, because I was like, wait a minute, because she was like, I don't know.
You try not to be graphic.
I'm trying not to be graphic, so I'm gonna like speed past that. So anyway, family, they patched her up and they did clean her out with the solution that was.
They left it open.
And then they left it open, but she had to put in these gauze, and until it healed from the inside out.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, then she came. Eventually she came home and it had to be changed out like numerous times a day.
I had to take a shower 4 times a day, and then finally they wanted to heal from the inside out. So I had to take a shower, 4 times a day, and I had to use these gauze and everything. I had to stick my hand in my abdominal, and put these gauze in there, and then I had to use this tape to hold the gauze in. I had to do this, every day.
Yeah, and just one of the main things we want to discuss. I mean, that was pertaining to that specific delivery with our son. I thank God. I sit back and I thank God for His grace and mercy. And I talk to my wife about this off the camera. We discuss this all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So and the fact that we are we like to be open to you, family, as well. I mean, this is something we wanted to share with you also.
Mm-hmm.
Sean he's a good kid. He's I call they're all gonna be my kids for the rest
no
of
matter
my life.
how old they get.
But to me, he's a good kid. He's bright, very talented as well.
Mm-hmm.
You guys got a chance to see him on the. We took our walk the other day as he was speaking. He's joining the family with the weight loss journey as well.
Mm-hmm.
He has some set goals, and we're gonna stand behind him as he does that.
100%.
That's 100%.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of years ago, he got extremely sick. He started having seizures.
Mm-hmm.
So he has a seizure disorder, like his dad. Yeah. So he's taking medication for that. That almost I can go into that because that almost really like took our son away from us.
It did.
That was a really scary moment. Maybe you want to elaborate on that as well?
Yeah, it was December 16th. And December. Okay, family. We don't know what happened with the camera. It is shut off, but I was saying, concerning our son, It was December 16th, 2016. Um, we were all, me and my husband and the two youngest boys and Sean were home. And so all the boys was in the front, in the living room, me watching TV. And my husband was on the phone call. So we was watching TV and everything. And Sean, he was so goofy. Sometimes he be goofing off with his younger brothers. And so he had got up and he was like, he had been playing with Jordan Malik earlier. He had got up and he was like, we was watching, he was making this funny face at him. And so he had got up and he was like turning his head and everything and his eyes and everything. And I was like, Sean, quit doing all that and everything. I said, you starting to scare them. And he kept doing it. And that's when I looked at him and I realized he was having a seizure, because I have seen my husband have a seizure and I knew automatically what it was. So I was all the way on the couch and there was a chair in the way. So I jumped over the chair. And I don't know where my strength came. I do know it came from God. I picked him up and turned him on his side and everything, and he went into the seizure full blown. And I called to Tim, my husband, and I was like, Sean having a seizure, and your dad, I'm sorry, I said my dad. Oh, my husband, he came running in there, and he seen him in full blown, and calling 911 and everything. And when the ambulance got here, he went unconscious completely, and I rode in the ambulance with him in the back, and they wouldn't allow me in the back with him. They made me stay up in the front. My husband followed behind in the car. He stayed unconscious. I kept asking the paramedic, and I said, is he woke? What they said, no, he's not woke. He's breathing, but he's not woke and everything. And we get to the hospital, and he still is not woke, and I'm like, I'm looking at my husband, looking at me like, why he not waking up? And finally he did wake up, and when he did wake up, family, he did not know who me and my husband was. He did not know our name or nothing.
Yeah, he I'm gonna go a little extra mile and say that he definitely had a full blown seizure.
He did.
I don't know if some of the viewers are familiar with seizures, but there are several types.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I had to learn that myself when I got diagnosed. That I thought there was only, when you have a seizure, when a person says you're having a seizure, there's only one seizure, but there are several types of seizures.
It is.
But he had a full blown one, and to the point where I'm assuming that his brain and his it was uncontrollable, to the point where he had memory loss. Because my wife just basically stated that he forgot who we were.
Mm-hmm.
And his brothers as well.
He didn't know who none of us were.
Yeah. So he was in the hospital for about 2 months. About 2 months, yes, about 2 months.
Because he kept having the seizures, and they couldn't understand why he was having them,
Yeah.
And he would have them and everything, and they run a test, they still didn't know why, and they put him on this one medicine called Keppra, and they sent him home. Yeah. And so he came home and everything, and he was upstairs in his bedroom, because at the time he hadn't moved out yet. He was upstairs in his bedroom, and so I could hear a whole lot of noise. We downstairs, me and my husband downstairs, but the kids upstairs, and I hear a whole lot of noise. We know it's coming from his room. I'm like, Sean, what's going on up there? And so my husband goes to the end of the steps and everything, and says, Sean, what's going on? And he comes down to the steps and everything, staggering down the steps, and falls into my husband's arms and everything, saying his chest hurt. So we called 911 and everything, and they rushed here, and took him to the hospital, and we got into the hospital and everything, in the nick of time, because family, we got there. His heart rate went up, and he was having a seizure at the same time, and he almost died.
Yes. I remember that. I remember because when he did get there, do you remember what was that the doctor had asked you and I when he had them, when they were trying to they was doing CPR on him?
Yeah.
And then what was that the doctor had asked us?
He asked us, has me or my husband ever had anybody die from sudden death?
That's what he
asked. And so I almost passed out myself.
Well, for a doctor to ask you that about your child, I mean, that's something that's no parent wants to discuss. Has anybody that in your family ever died of sudden death?
Mm-hmm.
Who wants to hold a conversation about that? With the doctor concerning a child. But with this therapy and medicine change of medicines, because the Keppra they had him on, it was too
aggressive.
It was too aggressive. It was making him just act
different.
outlandish, and but I was out of his control. He didn't know what he was doing. It was the medicine. So that's the thing about medicine, family here. And some of you may have changed medicine. I had to change medicine myself a few
So have I.
times, but it all has to be done to to do to change the rotation of what you're dealing with here. Now the medicine I frequently take, it works pretty good for me. I've no side effects at all. Right now they had to change Sean's medicine a couple times, so it seems to be working pretty good for him. So that's definitely a bonus. All praise due to God for that. Other than that, family, he's held well. We're thankful that he's still here. He's still a gift. He was a gift from the beginning, and God just gave him back to us.
That's for sure. That's
Amen.
for sure. Because
Amen to that.
looking at him, I tell him he's a walking testimony. Because
Yes.
nobody will ever know that he almost died. I mean, we went through as a family, and him personally went through a lot. He was in the hospital. Like one hospital, they couldn't understand why he kept having a seizure, so he was transferred by ambulance to another hospital. You know what I mean? And they would run a test and everything, to find out, what's going on. And they kept saying that it was unspecified. You know what I mean? They don't know what caused him to have the seizure and everything. And it was so ironic because my husband started having the seizures the same age that Sean started having the seizures.
Yes, I did.
And so, it was like, crazy. And like I said, he was, they transferred him to 2 different hospitals because they couldn't find out why he was having the seizures. They had him on the floor for strokes and everything because family, when I say these, he was in a bad condition, like I said, he almost died. He had to learn how to walk again. They had him on the stroke floor in the hospital. We had to feed him like a baby.
Yeah, that's yes, indeed, family. He had to circum a lot of
Obstacles.
A lot of obstacles, to get back to where he was. I mean, he's a supreme artist. He draws very well.
Oh wow!
Maybe
yes, he does.
maybe one of these vlogs, family, it will show you some of his art. He draws, and he loves to do it. This is one thing to do. Yes, and he's good at what he does. So picture this, family. Before he got really sick, he was drawing really good. Then during his sickness, he couldn't draw at all.
No.
But the moment he started getting better, his art got better once again. So you see what God can take. When God takes a gift from you, He can give it right back to you. He's like,
You also going to see,
that?
when situations like that, you can see what God can do.
Amen to that. I said, see that, son? I talk to him sometimes. I said, yeah. I said, you couldn't draw while you were sick. I said, but look how good you are. I see how that gift that you love to do so well, it returned to you as soon as you got well. Isn't God good?
Yes, He is.
All the time, family. All the time. Well, family, we wanted to share this with you. Thank you for joining us in this vlog. We hope you're having a pleasant and wonderful day. I'm sitting here and I'm enjoying this beautiful day with my wife. We happen to be off for the rest of the day. We had a very trying day earlier, but today it seems like it settled down. It was enough. We had enough time to get a vlog in, and we wanted to share some information with you guys concerning our family. Again, family, take care. God bless you as always. God is with you.
We love you, family.
Amen.
Bye.